Hey YouTube, welcome to episode 3 of my educational survival raid series. After a wasteful death at the end of the last episode, we head straight back to the scene of the crime, hopefully to finish the wounded beast task and extract safely to complete the Zhivchik task. For the loadout, we take our last M4 and our best level 3 armor to help with the scavs, as well as a cheap bolt action rifle if we get a chance to work on Tarkov Shooter 1. We took the Vaseline this time so we can still see with the pain effect for longer and extra meds to get us back to full health after. We did, however, forget to take water to rehydrate afterwards, which could be an issue. Okay, so we're going to pretend nobody saw that last raid. It's not like anyone's going to put it on YouTube or anything. Okay, so we're down towards the med tents again. It's a good place for scavs, even though we died there a minute ago. I think what we're going to do is head over there. We'll take it slightly wide in case there's a PMC spawn in front of us. I don't think that they would allow PMC to spawn up here whilst we're spawning on this side. It is possible though. So I don't think it's busy enough for that to happen, but we can move up, but we definitely need to be aware of it. Obviously we don't have to fully hydrate until the end, because that's still where we're getting the pain from here. So I'm moving quite fast. But if there is a PMC up this way, then if he's coming this way, then we need to be careful from now on in. Make it a little slower here. I also want the scavs to spawn. In an ideal world, we just bang out these 3 scavs really quickly. One thing I have done here, which I'll show you here, is I bought some Vaseline. It does actually give us the dehydration that we need as well. So we can actually use that to dehydrate. At the same time, instead of like, whatever it is, 30 seconds, 40 seconds of painkiller effect, we're going to get 6 minutes, 5 minutes, so it just means we don't have to rush these kills. Just being a little bit cautious of there being a PMC up here. Heard no shooting in the camp yet, but it doesn't mean somebody's not doing a stash run or something like that, so we've got the pain effect now, so we're fully dehydrated. So if you do have Vaseline, it's definitely the best way to do this. But we are moving up to a potential hotspot on this map, so it has its own risks. We can actually use the bolt here. I think that's about 40 meters. Do not want to be dying here though. It's not going to be 40 meters, so we're just going to get this done. Not messing this up again. He's throwing a grenade. Not happy with these scavs around here at the moment. He just ducked. What's going on? Happy with that. We do still need the 3M armors, but we need one more kill. I'm not going to hang about here. We're on the wrong side of the map for the search mission, so we're probably just going to loot in here, to be fair. I'd like to get this one kill, even if it means moving up to the other side. We'll go up to the ridge, maybe even get sniper scav. We can then come back and loot this. We still have to be aware there could be PMCs around. We're going to move pretty fast here. Definitely everyone will know that both there's a PMC here and exactly where we are. Okay, there's a scav over there. That's the one we need. I don't like having to shoot for a bush, but the trouble with being dehydrated is you have no energy, so... Right. He nearly killed us as well. Jeez. They don't miss, do they? This whole pack of armor is not what it's cut up to be. Oh, we actually had a... you know what? That probably saved us. Probably saved us. Oh, we didn't bring any drink. Wow. Too busy talking. Not enough thinking. Okay. The good news is we're next to a supply point, so we'll get it from here. No, I've never been here and not found drink. There we go. Could be awkward. Right, we have a decision now whether we go all the way over the other side now and try and do... I think peas give us a bit of hydration as well. Yeah, just a little bit. Whether we go over and try and do search mission. To be honest, there's nothing else we need to do here. So what we'll do is we'll loot around here. If we get any of the good medical items we need, like slavers and morphine, then we'll consider not. But other than that, we're gonna. I think we'll try and get over there. You know what? You use this for now. Files and meds will keep. The danger here is we made a lot of noise, so PMCs will definitely come over this way. Get ourselves right back up. Technical crate here. We could find gas analyzers, or next to nothing. That's actually we need. Oh wow! They're worth about 50k each, but they used to be so rare, and now we're just finding them in crates. There's a lot of medical items over here, so I'm gonna try. There's actually some in here as well. Can sometimes be a spawn down here. Nice shoots. Okay, this is flavor. So we're definitely not going to go to search now. Search mission. We're going to pick up whatever we can here and try and get out. We'll keep that for now. How's our health looking? Let's keep repairing. Oh, we need toolboxes. We need 2 of those actually for a task soon, so that's really good. Can't put it in there though. Need that for a task quite a bit later, but we'll take it. We're pretty full now. Let's just drink this. One more medical. I can't believe we haven't found any morphine. See what we're getting here. Great. I don't think we need to drop anything. We'll take that instead. We'll keep the water just in case. And we'll see if we can get out of here. Definitely would like to get out of the Saleva. We haven't got much, but Gonna quickly check this guy for 3M armor. Hopefully we don't get domed. We can try and do the 40-meter scav kills as well on the other side. But again, after a scuffed raid, and now we've got a Salewa as well, I'm quite keen to reset. We also need to survive the raid to finish off that dehydration one, so for me there's nothing wrong with short sharp raids when you've got a task done or when something successful has happened. The longer you hang around, I find the longer you invite trouble. There's a lot going on the other side of the camp, so it's a good reason why we're going to stick to this side. If somebody's up on the hill sniping, then we're pretty much dead, but I don't see anyone over there. You know what, we do actually have a scope, so we could have a look. We're going to let them fight over there, and we'll see if we can make it across this side. Just breathe here a second. So we got cover from all that from the hill here, so we don't need to run. If there is anyone up in front of us here, we don't need to be giving our position away. Just going to check in this tent for flash drive. Been a long time since I found one in here, but worth a check. And then we're basically heading to outskirts extract, but we're going to see if we can see any scabs along the way and try and get 40-meter kills. There's the heart. Let's head up on this hill, we might be able to get an angle on a scab. But there's normally lots of scabs over on this side by the outskirts extract, so we'll see. We're risking a Salewa, that's about it. It's not the end of the world. We can get to a point where we can craft Salewas, so any movement yet? Nothing. Right, so there's a bunch of scabs over by this extract usually, so we'll see if we can get an angle, and if they're wandering around, we'll try and pick those off. Can't remember if it's 3 or 5, but it's normally a good angle to get them. Okay, just see one running across there. We go behind the rock. Another one there. One of the downsides to this ammo is its velocity is not very good, so You have to lead it quite a bit. It's got drop on it. Don't want to hang around too long. We can pick these off over a couple of raids. So there's another one there. Is it 3 or 5? I think it's 5. Yeah. With a bolt action rifle. Oh, with iron sights. Nice. Beautiful. Right. We'll reset that. I'm thinking of the one where you need to get them in the leg and the arm. The leg and the head. You can use the scope for that. Honestly, happy to get those 2 crappy tasks out of the way and pick up a couple of important task items as well. We do have a couple more painful woods tasks to go, but time for a change of pace with our first trip to customs for the infamous check-in task. Before that, a quick reserve scav raid nets us a few future task items and the Dorm's 204 key. We pretty much keep the same loadout here, and we'll look for opportunities to progress the Tarkov shoot-off quest also as we go. Okay, raid 9. It's our first on customs, and we've landed in Big Red, which is over the east side. We really only have one objective here: is to get to Dorms and get the machinery key. If we pick it up, we could come back and try and get the bronze pocket watch. We've got the check-in task to do, but kind of landed on the wrong side to try and do them in one raid. We'll see how it all sounds and looks. This episode's been recorded after we've had these server updates, so it's quite possible that this server's going to be busier than they would be. It's also in the last 2 or 3 weeks of wipe, so I'm sure how this is going to go. Unlike Woods and Interchange, where you can sort of keep your distance or the outskirts of Interchange, Customs, it's very hard to path in a way that doesn't run into players. So it's very much about the timing of the pathing. So right now we landed in Big Red, so there was almost certainly someone spawned over here by the water's edge who would have gone most likely to Dorms. It's possible someone spawned over up on this side or just in front here. So they're our biggest threat, and also people would have spawned behind us or could have spawned behind us. So we do need to keep moving, but we don't want to be moving too fast because I want to let those people that spawned in front of us get to wherever they're trying to get to, be it Dorms or Crack House over there. Hopefully they're not just hanging back and sniping. So Dorms is over here on the left. We're going to get there a little bit too late to make it worth us going there at the beginning of the raid. Okay, so they've been triggered. So whoever's spawned over there is still over there, which is not good news. So another mini objective here is to get the unknown key, because we're going to be needing that soon for a task. Just trying to get across, and then I'm going to sort of sit for a bit. So we heard a player over there shooting, or scav shooting at a player. So what would normally happen is the 2 players that spawned potentially in front of us would have moved to decent loot locations like Dorms and Crack House. If they're hanging around, that's when we have a little bit of trouble. I'm actually, because we can put it in our secure container, I'm going to grab the unknown key while we're on this side. If I try to go to Dorms now, we won't be first. There'll be people already in there. It's going to make it very difficult for us to get in and out safely. So there's a player right in front of us there, which is really useful. So I'm actually just going to find a bush. be honest, it's actually better for us to pull even further back. We really don't want to be getting under fight here. We haven't actually done anything in this raid yet. I'm not looking to have a PMC fight before we've achieved anything. I don't like that he was hanging around in that corner. There's no real reason for him to be there. Could be looking for scavs, could be waiting for players to come up over the bridge there. Well, like over the walkway on the water. But that bush where he was standing is right where the unknown key is. That could have been running away. That could have been, he could have gone through there without us seeing. Just going to pull back a little bit further. And we're going to listen. The danger here is the people from behind will come up on us. So we had a guy running over here. So that was either that guy had gone through and started moving towards that gunfire. There was another player. I'm not going to wait here long though. I really don't want the people behind coming up as well. We're going to get pinched in the middle. There's just shooting there as well. We're going to take a chance this guy's moved. Just had somebody else to our left now as well. On the gravel. It wasn't the best ball for what we're trying to do here. There we go. So that guy's still there. This is why we didn't really want to push up. And I'm pretty sure one's coming across the path as well. This is a very busy server. I thought it might be a bit painful like this. We don't need the unknown key right now. It's very hot over this side. It might actually be better to head towards dorms and see if we can sneak in. We literally could try and get in. The dorms, the machinery key's in 205. If we could get in there and just grab the key, even if we died getting out or something like that, we'd still have the key for next raid. We can put that in the secure container. Too worried about the unknown key. I am worried about where we are in terms of pathing right now though. I feel like I'm still hearing someone to our back right. This is an exciting episode, sitting in the bush. But you have to know where people are before you can make the right decision on moving. Yeah, because we are end white. We're not going to get in any too many meaningful fights that we're going to win, so... Okay, so that guy just jumped the fence. So he's still, somebody's still hanging around over here. We're actually going to completely bail out of here now. There's far too much weirdness going on right now. I don't like to run here because he could hear us, but I want to get away from him. He's clearly looking for players. Doesn't help us at all. It's one thing running into a fight, but to have a guy that was hanging around there, then somebody come back. Yeah. So Dorms is over here. So I can hear people to the right. Got to be careful here because they could come through this bush. Especially if they heard us there. There's an opening to our right here. Rain's helping us a little bit. Just on the other side of this fence. Very busy server. It sounds like he's jumping up on the construction bit there in front of us. It's pretty normal. It sounded like he moved away a little bit there, so we're not going to run here. Do not want him to know that we're moving through here. And I'm going to take a painkiller because we're running across the road. He could see us if he gets back up on there. But we have to make a move because we're going to get stuck here. Okay, that was a little bit traumatic. A lot going on there for a little level 8, but it was important to sort of know when to move, when to wait, and ultimately when to fight as well. It has to give Dorms a little bit of time to clear. Anybody that went in there early, it's possible that, I mean, I haven't had any shooting over here, I don't think. So anyone that went in here early may have actually done what they needed to do and get out. We don't have to get out if we get the key. I thought I heard something. It was a scav to our right. That's good. Means there shouldn't be any players to our front right. We are going to move because sooner or later you've got to go into dorms. There hasn't been any noise. It means somebody's just in there and they're hanging around, or from my point of view, this is a particularly scuffed pathing. As soon as people start to do weird things with their pathing, like hanging around on the other side of the other side of the river there, it throws everything because people start converging in the wrong places. I'm just going to take one more pill here. Let's see if I can just get in, get out. I thought that was a person. I'm going to throw a grenade here just to give myself a chance to get in that route. Such your scav. It's okay. Okay, we're in the room. Let's get the key. It's a good sign in terms of there shouldn't be a PMC closed now, so. We have a 204 key as a safe key. The difficulty here is getting out if that scav's still here, because you can see you have to crouch out. I'm going to take the chance to go for see if we can find a flash drive. Grab these two and we'll get the hell out of here. And the decision is, do we go back on ourselves and go to the machinery and try and get there? I think we do. We have nothing to lose. We've got the key. If we die, we come back in next time. Anything to be aware of here? We don't need that, but we'll sell for a few pennies, not me. So we're literally going to go all the way back on ourselves. Those people should have cleared. That guy's still in the corner where we left him. I'm going to be a little bit upset with him. You're still over there. Players like to just sort of sit on that side of the river and snipe across, for instance. What we could do, it sounds like, I don't know if he's up there or just still to the right, but we basically need to get to the bronze pocket watch tanker here. We're a little low. We're going to be low on hydration soon. And we don't have much in the way of painkillers, so we've got to move, even if it means dying. Let's check our extract. What we'll do is we'll chance it getting over there, and then we'll try and hit old gas. It's obviously not the safest thing to do, but some raids it's not as important to survive as others. It's not helpful. It's also just alerted to the people on this side to our position. Bear in mind we've got to stand out in the open to pick up this pocket watch. It's the trouble this time of the white. People are just hunting players with high tier weapons and ammo. I'm hoping he's on the other side of this wall, otherwise we are very dead. I'm going to move a little bit faster now. Obviously we know there's a scav in front of us, but we are going to run out of hydration. Do you know where the scav is? I'll see him. We keep moving because we're making noise there. Now we've got the bronze pocket watch. I do want to survive. It'd be a major win if we can get out. So no telling what's going to happen here, but by taking that little bit of extra time in the beginning, even if it was a bit scuffed because of that guy's pathing, we were able to get to a position where not only did we get to the machinery key, but there is a chance we can get out of it. If we had tried to go for the unknown key there, at that point where we was unsure about where they were, or if we'd run around at that point and they heard us, they would have one of them would have almost certainly come for us. So we're going to be looking for the green smoke here. Love to be able to get out of old gas here. Smoke, so we're going to jump this wall. Haven't heard anything on this side. Doors open, but that was probably from spawn. There's a scav there, which is really good. Means it's very unlikely a player in front now, but they can sit in these bushes and wait for people. We're just going to keep moving. Always listening for the audio cues to try and help us decide where players are. See, it's really quiet over here at the moment. Based on the behaviour I'm seeing in this particular raid, that light's not on either, so we've got to go all the way across. I'm not looking to loot too much. I'm not looking to loot at all. From my point of view, a successful raid is getting the machinery key. If we can get the machinery key and get out of the bronze pocket watch, then that's a major win. There'll be plenty more. Somebody's tried to do an airdrop. I just message come out. Obviously, I never tried to do it. I've never seen that before. So there's a really good chance that they're over in this corner. Oh, shit. There's definitely very likely that there's going to be a player over this side just hanging around. I'm going to try and stay away from the loot and hope that they're busy looting. We're definitely not running. Because they could be in these buildings here looting. Yeah, it's good to scav. It means there wasn't probably anyone on that side. Well, it's a player scav. So you can tell we've been in here too long and there's player scavs running around. Get the hell out. Okay, a lot more successful than I thought it was going to be at the start there. But yeah, there's a lot of patience involved, that one. So this was a really good example of being adaptable in raid. I always try to go in with at least a couple of objectives, but I'm always making micro decisions based on the way the raid is panning out. I believe this flexibility in raid is a key component to surviving more. We managed to pick up our last Salewa with a quick reserve scav raid, and then we headed back to Woods for raid 10. We had a total of 4 quests available to us on Woods, so took the same loadout, but with some food and drink. If we spawn on the south side, I might still go for the search mission quest, which will mean we'll be in the raid longer than normal. So we're back at Woods. We bring money for the car? We did. It could be useful. We do have a task on customs, but we only have one, so it made sense with us having 4 tasks on Woods, potentially to work through, that we came back here. So we're sort of over on the north side, kind of northeast, in the corner. I think we're going to go for search mission here. We really had 2 potential main objectives here. I think we're far enough north to be going for the search mission. So we're going to basically head over to the northwest area of the map, and we'll hopefully try and get that done. It's a bit of a pain in terms of the amount of distance you have to walk to get both to it and then to extract, but close enough to do it here. The alternative was the tough guy one where we just kill 3 scavs. And there's potential we still try and do that on the way out. But I'd want to be right by the extract because we can't use any meds. So that could be sniper scav shooting at someone. So we will have spawns here on our left over here and on our right over here. I wouldn't expect the people on our left to come this way, so I'm kind of listening to the right more than anything. But more likely, I've come this way because they're more likely to go into the sort of village area than that spawn. We have all the lakes down to our right, and we're just kind of heading across the northern side, trying to get towards the road area where the cargo trucks are. Take a little listen here. There really isn't much reason apart from people path into the Zhivchik camp to be coming this way. Got the main village areas, the sunken village, everything on our right here, and then you've got the Zhivchik camp on our left. Unless they're possibly looking for the goons. Just moving a bit slow. It shouldn't really be around here. I won't lie, this part of the map is, because it's less travelled, even by me, I get a bit lost, so hopefully we'll get lost this time. I really find it easier to locate this cargo, this transit group from the other side of the map. As a kind of guide, if you head towards the sort of northwest area of the map and then start moving south, you generally find it. I did not bring a compass. But these little lakes are a good indicator that you're around the right area. Sometimes I just go too far. I go past it too far. They are done again here. Worst comes to the worst, we'll get to the Zhivchik camp. Sit from there. I think it's down here to our right. He says. Just gonna get out in the open here. Just needed to keep going more north and more west. I think it might just be up here ahead of there it is ahead of us. North, more west. You can never go too far north and too far west here. This is a bit out in the open. We just have to run up to it. And again, it really shouldn't be. Oh, somebody's actually looted this. There's a crate next to it which somebody's looted. I'm going to have to be really careful now. I'm going to slow it down. And almost certainly they've gone up by the Zhivchik camp here. There's nothing else really over this side of the map. So we're going to just see if we can path quietly down below them. Have a little listen here. And hopefully they scoop up all the loot they need and move on. Just listen for any... There's two parts of the camp, one up above me to the right and one in front of me. Just listen for any sort of running about there to indicate they might still be on this side. Based on the amount of time we took to get here, I expect they needed that long to loot this side, but you never know. People get lost on woods, clearly. So the idea is to kind of just stay behind this person, assuming they're looting this and then extracting out of the same extract as us, which will be ZB14, I think. Again, just listening up above on this side. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to just run into someone. It gives us no options. I'd like to have the decision to fight or not fight. It is also possible that people come from the south here to loot this, so there's danger from our left now as well. So should get the indicator soon. We're not even going to loot here, so we're basically going to head down and stay pretty much to our right. I'm going to take a wide angle to extract. If we do get a chance to get any scav kills and get the tough guy task done, we'll do it right at the other end. Just running to get to this sort of covered area, but after that we're going to be taking it nice and slow. So otherwise we'll path right into the people that were in front of us. But we don't want to catch them up, especially if we want to get those scav kills, because then we'll have to deal with them as well. You do have to be careful here on the right. There is mines. So we're quite open here, but not many people would look this way. And we will be moving towards cover and trees and things. I'm just going to take a second now. Haven't heard too much fighting over across on the right to where we're going to be extracting from. All that weird audio is. That's just me in a bush. Yeah, I haven't had too much shooting, or if any shooting, from our right, which is where people would have spawned and is where we're going to be extracting. So they're either playing it really slow or they just darted straight out of there. My main concern is the guy that looted the crate that was by us, because he would have almost certainly gone to the USEC camp, which means he's almost certainly got this extract. And anyone who loots that crate out in the open like that is coming for loot. We got to expect him to be taking it nice and slow, grabbing the loot. We're looking for any kind of pixel movement in front to the right. We've got checkpoint over here. It's like the scav checkpoint. Keep this as wide as I can. I didn't want to go behind the wall back here, behind the extract. I would like to get this one done. I have no problem just getting out here. Just because of the sheer amount of distance you have to cover each time. It just takes time. Whereas we could come in and we could kill 3 scavs within a couple of minutes and get out. This one is definitely the more painful of the two. As I've probably said a few times, I have no problem like resetting, getting a task done, resetting. You know, imagine we've been in here 10 plus minutes already, maybe, you know, by the end nearer to 12 to 15. It's the sort of task I don't want to have to come back and do again. I can possibly help it. And because we haven't heard any shooting, there's every chance that if somebody is around here, they're playing it really slow. So if we start shooting scavs, we'll end up getting bonked in the head from God knows where. It's almost better for, yeah, from my point of view, in terms of like pathing, it's better to know where people are. I'd much rather they make a lot of noise and we know where they are. We get scavs here. I'm not going to check the ZB extract because it's probably closed, but if it's not, that means a player went down there. Go all the way on the outside. We're going to get this task done. We have to come back in and do more for woods anyway, so I don't need to do that. Hunt showdown gets blamed for that. There's a lot of people come over here to kill scavs. Generally a good population of scavs spawning over here. There's a scav house there, and they wander all around in these woods. As we just had here. I'm going to take it wide. We could take the sharp, but we've got too much to gain. I've got an odd feeling there's someone in the bush around here somewhere. Try and get to outskirts. I'm going to keep taking it as wide as possible. You have to be careful on mines here. Once you get past these rocks, a usual painful task for Jaeger, but oh no, that one was Prapor, but painful in terms of time. I mean, 16 minutes just to do that is crazy, but I don't want to have to go and do it again, so it was worth just getting out there. We'll reset, we'll go again. That brings us to the end of our 10th raid and episode 3 in the series. We've managed to survive 8 of the 10 raids and are sitting on level 9, so progressing nicely. Remember to support the channel and the series with a like, and let me know in the comments if the series is helping you. Thanks as always for watching and take care.